The mind and its functions must be guarded and guided to profit the owner and humanity. It is never too late to address mental illness, and we have been so told it is okay not to be okay. We must be deliberate and commit to accept reality that mental illness will be found at home, in our schools, and in the workplace. We must also find a way to mitigate the way we do things and make sure that this mental illness does not destroy a nation and even the nations of the earth. The mind and its functions must be guarded and guided to profit the owner and humanity. It is never too late to address mental illness, and we have been so told it is okay not to be okay. We must be deliberate and commit to accept reality that mental illness will be found at home, in our schools, and in the workplace. We must also find a way to mitigate the way we do things and make sure that this mental illness does not destroy a nation and even the nations of the earth. And we must find, therefore, a way to mitigate and to invest in family values and family cohesion. And we must also give adequate maternity leave. That is my suggestion. And rethink the husband and wife workplace proximity or locality. In Africa, mental health is not fully understood, especially in the family setup. When you find quarreling parents, a shouting sister, a violent brother, or an angry aunt or uncle, we justify their behavior and do not think deeper about the reason behind their actions. Sometimes we isolate them and which further aggravates their healthy condition. Sadly, we realize they were mentally ill when they do something very grave. This includes women who suffer postpartum depression soon after giving birth. Their partners do not realize the mother holding the newborn has a mental issue that could endanger the innocent infant. For our children, as you may know, fear family conflict, violence in the homes. They fear that their husband and wife or their parents, the mother and them father, will separate. They fear that they will divorce. They fear and they blame themselves when such things happen. And that is the beginning of mental illness for the child. And therefore, if it can be addressed at the family level, you will find that you will pick up a very mature child who is able to handle the stresses of life and even of the workplace. Our greatest fear, as I've said, with our children is failing to please their parents. Children work very hard to make sure that their father is happy, their mother is happy, and everything that those parents say, it is so important.
The initiation age of some of these drugs is too low, shocking. Even when we check our data in comparison with the region and internationally, we are worse off. For example, children as low as 7 years are being initiated into alcohol. Meaning that when the father is there, they are telling them, Baba, drink a sip. When the parents are in the family, they are sending the child to fetch them a cigarette. You see, why would we as parents want to bring these substances in our homes? Why would we allow people to go to the pubs with their kids, and as they drink, their kids are playing around? You see, this is something, a conversation we must really take, and we say no to some of these things. So we are also coming up with the laws, strict legislation. I hope we will not be accused of going to manage the homes when we say you shouldn't, or the families, when we say you should not be taking alcohol, really, and buying it and taking it home. I don't know if we are going to designate places to take alcohol at home, but these are things we may need to really think about. Cannabis. And cannabis, that is bang, is actually a big worry to us, because in the last 5 years, we have seen the rate of smoking of cannabis double. The bang, it has been doubling. And we suspect that this is because of the myths surrounding this, the myths that, it is being allowed elsewhere around the world. If you smoke cannabis, you become more brighter, or you become all this and that. And I'm sorry to say, some of the politicians have been glorifying it. You go there and you find them glorifying, and we must do something about this. We have laws. And if somebody is doing that, surely, we must stand our ground and say no, because the influence to our kids will be detrimental. And as we have been saying, we are at a risk of losing a generation because of this.
Kenya ranks 5th among African countries with elevated depression cases. This is a study by WHO, where 2 million people are suffering from depression. We also have the suicide death rate that estimates 6 per 100,000 people committing suicide. And the ratio of males to females is 3:1. So actually, more males are committing suicide as compared to females. We were just discussing during the break, Your Excellency, the fact that we are seeing a big problem with the males within the societies, or with boys within the societies, possibly due to absent fathers and a system within the family setup that is not promotive of that. While we have mothers who are hanging out with their children every day, developing the relationships with their children, and the mothers are not able to provide exactly what their fathers would do, especially for the boy child. So the boy child is lacking resources and skills to cope with life stresses as compared to the girl child.